Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about a song that, as a kid, when I first heard it, it really transfixed me. And to this day, it still has. I mean, it's one of those songs where, to me, it's just incomparable. And the first time I heard it when I was a kid was probably in the mid 90s. There's a music radio station that I think just popped up recently at that time. And it was very unique in the sense that it only played 70s music, 1970s music. So, but any of the hits that I assume came out at that time, they would play. It didn't matter what genre of music. So it could have been rock, pop, funk, stuff like that, disco, things like that. So they would have this like Friday night disco nights where they would just play disco music consistently from I think 8 or 9 p.m. till like midnight. And I happened to luck into that. So it was probably one of those take a break from work, from school work, and I just pop in, nothing to do at night, trying to maybe get some sleep or something like that, and just turn on the music a little bit. And I lucked into this radio station, and they were playing just constant disco music. There's they would play like a string of 10, 15 songs, and then a commercial break, and then continue on. So just listening to it, I recognize a few songs here and there. They also played like really cringy stuff, and I think it's one of those cringy songs that I don't know. The disco era, I haven't lived it. I haven't experienced it, but songs like Disco Duck, you know, to me, it's just if there are a lot of songs like that coming out, especially later in the later years of disco, I can see why people hate it. But outside of that, there was this song that happened probably in the first quarter of that 10 to 15 track list, and immediately it caught my ear right on the intro, and then just listening it throughout. When it finished, I was transfixed totally. And this was the song. Yeah, that's Dancing Queen. So when I first heard this, as I mentioned, I was like in awe. Just I've never heard of this song before. The people singing it, never heard them before either. Voices from a voice perspective. And it's kind of funny that even back then, all the music stations outside of the top 40, the current music, so I'm talking about like oldies, those kind of stations, and there were plenty back then. They've never played any of ABBA's music at all. I've never heard of the group, never heard any of the songs, and it just so happens that the only time I can hear a song from them would only be Dancing Queen. And in that case, it's only they only played for this special disco thing. So, but first time I heard it, I never knew who ABBA was. I didn't even know the name because I after hearing the song, I had to wait a while, and I don't think I ever caught the DJ mentioning the song or who played it. So it took me a couple months or so later, the time when I had time to go and listen to this, because again, it's only on Friday nights. And then I made sure to have a blank tape, you know, put it in the my little boombox at the time, and I was ready to record. If the song came up again, I was ready to record it just in case that if I never ever caught the name of the group, at least I have something to play and maybe ask around like, hey, do you know this song? But so it took a while, but eventually Dancing Queen came on again. I lucked into it another time, right in the middle of the song, immediately press the record and play at the same time, let it record. But I guess I got lucky that that was probably when I heard that, it was near the end of that 10 to 15 straight song list that they were doing. And then I heard the DJ talk song artist. And finally, when I heard Dancing Queen and ABBA, even when I heard the name, I wasn't sure what I heard. I didn't know the artist at all. So, but I kind of wrote it down. And eventually I figured it out. Either through going through, most likely through the like Tower Records at Best Buy. I started with the A. It could have been E or something, but I went through the CDs in the store, and then eventually I saw ABBA. I looked in the back. Yeah, Dancing Queen. So, and this was the album. And this is the album. When I knew it was ABBA, I waited a while, saved up some money, and had to ask my parents, like, hey, it's okay for me to buy this album? And without knowing anything about this group outside of Dancing Queen, and it was okay. And I bought it, and it's one of the best albums I ever bought for only one song, or not really one song that I wanted, and was Dancing Queen on this one. And I got home and played the CD. Again, Dancing Queen was all I cared about, and it was the very first song. Did some repeat, for about 10 times or so, and then I just let it play the rest. Throughout the whole CD, I was damn impressed. I mean, the music is kind of like Dancing Queen, majority of it, at least on the gold CD. It's just fun pop. Just well-written pop music that majority of them were upbeat and catchy. A lot of catchy hooks. One of my favorites outside of Dancing Queen, the first time I heard it, was Take a Chance on Me. But even the slow stuff like The Winner Takes It All, Fernando, I mean, those were catchy in its own right. I was totally impressed with this group, front to back, and I don't know. It made me wonder, after listening for a long time, this CD, and it was a CD that I would frequently play, believe it or not, when I first got it. And I was just kind of, first of all, impressed by the group, ABBA. I think they're just a fantastic pop music group. The second thing is, I could never think of a group whose music would be similar to them at that time. And third, I still don't know why, even at that time, why ABBA's music wasn't played at all. The only song, again, was Dancing Queen. And the only time I would hear it would be in unique scenarios like a disco set on a Friday night. That's it. I would not hear ABBA on any oldie stations or light pop stations, things like that. It was just non-existent. So the only thing I could think of was that ABBA was never popular here in the US. And, this is at the time as a kid, not able to kind of do research. And people I ask around, albeit limited, either has never heard of them or they may know of them but don't know their music. So I give it as I lucked into maybe a one-hit wonder group, but I happen to like their music. It's just one of those things. So fast forward, not too long after, say, I think 2001 or something, around there, early 2000s essentially, and ABBA became popular again, mainly because they had the musical Mamma Mia that came out. It's either late 90s or early 2000s, at least in the US, it came out, and it was a big thing. It was huge. Not only was the musical like very, very popular, you could see commercials of talking about them, reviews and stuff like that. But there's a cover group that became popular around that time again too. They were called the A-Teens. A for ABBA, ABBA teens essentially, and they were just covering ABBA tunes. And they were, I think they had a popular Dancing Queen and maybe Take a Chance on Me. One of those, for sure, one of the songs was a hit here. But I just realized when Mamma Mia, the musical, came out, not just the popularity, but it seemed like a lot of people knew them. I mean, just again, rewind a little bit back when I first got ABBA and just trying to figure out their music. Seemed like to me at that time no one knew them. But then when Mamma Mia, the musical, came out, it was like, oh, everyone knows them, or pretty much everyone knew the group, knew their songs, and you could see reviews and commercials and so forth where packed houses going in there and singing every freaking song that I would know from the gold CD and singing to. So I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So, it's the good thing about that was because they became popular again, they kind of the record label released basically their entire catalog again, as well as some new stuff. And that's when I picked up a lot of other things too. So I picked up their second part, their gold album. This is the one to get though. This is their double CD set, the definitive collection. I highly recommend if you want to get into ABBA, this is the one to go. Basically every song you could think of, fantastic stuff from them, is in this double CD set. Definitely pick this one up. Then I also picked up 3 albums. Super Trooper, Voulez-Vous. Now, I also have Arrival. I bought it at the same time as these 3 albums, but I don't know what happened to it. I just can't seem to find it. I think most likely I misplaced it, but I may have lent it to a few people here and there as well and just maybe forgot to get it back or something like that. But even then, I bought this too. This is their Spanish album, a compilation album. Basically, all their hit songs that you would know, they would sing in Spanish. And I think ABBA would sing it. I don't think it's like different artists or anything, but it's, this one's a very good one. Highly recommend it. Éxitos Eternos. So, because of the musical and all these re-releases, I bought their entire, well, I wouldn't call it entire, but a lot of their stuff. And just listening throughout, especially the definitive collection, I'm just impressed. I mean, it just like their Gold, that very first album I bought as a kid. But I was just, their music to me is fantastic. To me, ABBA is one of the better, if not best, pop music creators in terms of they know how to write pop music. I don't know how to explain it. Not only that, their music is just a bit different. I don't know how to call it. I mean, ABBA, and this is what I don't get. ABBA is kind of pigeonholed into the disco category. Majority of people would kind of, match disco with ABBA, or at least put them in a disco category. Now, I get during their heyday and so forth was in a disco era, so, mid 70s on through the early 80s before they broke up. So I kind of understand that part. But their music, outside of maybe 2-3 songs so far that I've heard, they're not disco. To me, they're just pure pop music. Pop, rock a little bit. But it's just pop music. I can't categorize them as disco or any subgenre of pop, really. Maybe they're a genre in themselves. I don't know. Again, it's like music that I can't really compare to. There's nothing like it. And I don't know if there's any imitators out there, but I don't know of any that would make music like them as well. So to me, they're kind of like they stand head and shoulders by themselves for the pop music they make. Now, could it be a Euro style sound or even a Swedish style, like very particular to Sweden? I really don't know. But knowing all the artists that came out from Sweden, and I don't really know too. At the same time I got into ABBA, the group Ace of Base was actually somewhat popular at that time, and I knew they were from Sweden, although that's a totally different sound. And years later, I realized Roxette, which was kind of before my time. They were from Sweden, and that was a different sound as well. But so I can't really say it's a Swedish thing either. It's just their own, ABBA's own genre of music. So what I'm what I would like to say is Dancing Queen, to this day, every time I listen to it, it always brings a smile to my face. And it's not just because I love the song. You can tell I do, but when I listen to it, it always, for some reason, when I listen to it, I always think this is like pure pop perfection as a song. I mean, I always think about myself as, if I ever got into the music business, not just like listening, but maybe playing an instrument or writing songs, most likely I would prefer to write a song rather than sing. But if I had to write a song and I only had one song to write, and it had to be a popular song, something that, you want the masses to hear, what song would that be? Without a doubt, no question in my mind, no hesitation, Dancing Queen would be it. And it's from the hooks. There's many hooks to it, just from like the piano, the chorus. Speaking of piano, just the intro of the piano. I don't know, is it the slide or whatever you would call it? Right into the chorus, and then starting out the song kind of slow, mid-tempo-ish, and then just kind of every time they're singing, just till the end, just building up. The hooks in that, the melody. I mean, just this song makes you want to sing even at first listen. Just you want to sing. Heck, the rhythm's is perfect. I mean, it makes you want to dance a bit too, right? I mean, it's just the lyrics are catchy. The song is catchy. I mean, it makes you want to sing and dance at first listen. I mean, I don't know anyone who either wouldn't know this song at first listen, can't complain about it. I mean, it's just, to me, it's the absolute most perfect pop song you can ever create. Dancing Queen. And that's out of their entire catalog, and they've got a bunch of good stuff, ABBA. I mean, Dancing Queen has just got to be the epitome of how to write, compose, play, sing, and everything of a pop song. Like 3.5 minutes. It's just pure perfection. I don't think there's any other song you can compare to as being just blissful. Just again, first listen. Any person just listening to music, you give them Dancing Queen on first listen, they're gonna like it. It's just no no doubt about it. It's just, again, pure perfection. Now, I don't know what you would think about that, but to me, Dancing Queen has got to be the way to go if you want to create pop. I wish there's more songs, creativity in a popular space that would at least mimic ABBA, and maybe there are, or at least an artist or so that I don't know about, but it's just one of those where, wow, they just, listening to the entire catalog that I've got, they're just a fantastic pop music group, hands down. And, to me, they're the best export to come out of Sweden. Regardless, music, cars, whatnot. To me, they're the best thing that ever came out of Sweden, exported. And Dancing Queen has to be the best pop song, period. Hands down. Let me know what you think. Appreciate it.